Hello and welcome to part 8 of our Forza Horizon 6 playthrough. Today, just gonna be doing more PR stunts and whatnot just to get some more progress down. So, I'm currently almost at this time attack right here. Although I will not be doing that. I'm going to be aiming for these two PR stunts right here. So one is a danger sign and the other is a speed zone. So with that being said, let's try to figure out where this danger sign is. And see if we can get a good score on that. Okay, found the danger sign. I'm gonna start from right here. Righty. Do a score this gives us 720 feet. Not bad because we are right next to the speed zone. Let's just go on right here. And one car in particular that I haven't had the chance to talk about yet are the Forza Edition cars. Particularly the Nissan GTR R35 Forza Edition, because I hear that thing's just a monster when it comes to acceleration and drag racing and danger signs and whatnot, and I would just love to try that car out. Anyway, we got an okay score for both of these, which again is okay, so that'll do. So currently we need roughly 1,800 more Horizon points to unlock the next Horizon Rush event. I'm gonna do this Trailblazer right here. All right. Finally here, and I'm gonna change my car to the Viper, the off-road one, of course, and the Forza Edition. I've just gotta say that this car is truly a really good car. You know, like, I don't know how many more times I could say this, but you know, this car handles really well off-road. I do a lot of cross-country events in it, and it just works absolutely amazingly. And so, you know, I could go on and on talking about all these cars that I like and whatnot. So yeah, I just thought I'd give this one a bit of a shout out, you know, because it is truly a good car. Like, it just handles the off-road so well. All right, anyway, going into the places that are undiscovered, we have this, so let's go discover these roads and that speed trap. Speed trap's about a mile ahead. Although now I think about it, it might be a speed zone. Let me look. Yes, it's a speed zone. Okay, I was wrong there about the speed trap. Yeah, so the speed zone is just up ahead, so let me get into a car that can handle all these corners, which is of course none other than Ferrari fh6. Truly an amazing track car. You know, and the thing about this car that I will say is that this car kind of checks almost all the boxes for me. Like, it's got speed, it's got grip, you know, it's relatively easy with handling. You know, I don't have to worry about, you know, corners too much with this car. I only have to worry about corners a little bit. But yeah, this car, again, like the Viper and all the other cars I've used, is just one of those that's just glad to have. All right, so let's see here. That looks like it's off-road, but I could be wrong. But for now, I'm gonna assume it's off-road. So I'm gonna fast travel over here. And change my car once more. All right. And an off-road car that I like. And off we go. Okay, yeah, this is definitely an off-road speed zone. Cool. I am truly glad that I took this car. You know, but there's one thing I do really want to figure out about this game, and that is, what is the fastest car? Because in Forza Horizon 5, it was a Koenigsegg Jesko, or Jesko. I'm not very good at my pronunciation, so yeah. But anyway, it was the Koenigsegg Jesko with a top speed of 310-ish miles an hour. And then from what I've seen on YouTube, it's been the Toyota AE86 Forza Edition with a top speed of roughly 320-ish miles an hour, around there. That's definitely something I want to explore in the future for sure. Ooh, S1 Rally Monsters, say less. Alright, it is right behind me here. Worst turbo lag in the world, which is why I'm probably gonna end to swap this car when I get the chance. But yeah, let's use the Porsche. Now this is a truly good off-road car. But this is what you get from the showcase event with the planes. The two planes that, you know, have fireworks and everything. That's where you get this car from. Let's go. So right off the bat, the scenery is just amazing, of course. Another thing that I want to point out is the car that I'm in. The Porsche 911 Dakar, or the Porsche 911 Rally car, or whatever it's called. The thing I like about this car is that ever since I got it from that past showcase event, this thing is just so good for off-road events like this. And more specifically with off-road, I want to say dirt racing events. because it just handles the off-road so well, and like it is right now. And you know, just the power that I've added to it and everything just makes it a super great rally car altogether. But I would not recommend this car for cross-country events, just because of, you know, for me it's too low, and a lot of the cross-country events have a lot of jumps and high drops and you know, no trails, obviously, because you're just blazing across whatever surface you're on, which is usually off-road. So that's what I would recommend, like the Viper, or you know, some raised up car like that. Anyway, for this dirt race so far, I'm actually doing pretty good. Car does truly handle the dirt amazingly. I also want to say, I think the braking line was a lie there. It told me to brake, but I didn't really need to. Why? Because this thing just handles corners off-road like no tomorrow. Although I'm not saying this is the best rally car, I'm just saying it's really good. Just to put some context to that. Just look at this thing go. Look at it. Also, we're on the final lap, and my best lap time so far is 1 minute and 9 seconds. I want to try to get that to be a little less, but if I can't, so what? But the only thing I really care about is obviously being done with this event and winning it, of course, so we can get the most Horizon points available. And one thing that I did try was seeing if I could redo past events, like seeing if like I could just do this over and over again, and it seemed like I could, but eventually the points didn't, you know, get any higher. So then I finally figured out that maybe I can't do events over and over again. Or I mean, by over and over, I mean the same one.
I have set your route to the dirt race event.
Bamboo Forest Scramble. This seems familiar to me. I think I've been up this road. I don't think I've done this race before. There we are. Hey, my car's on the cover. Man, I could have taken the Subaru. And this will work. Alright, here we go. Alrighty, off to a pretty good start. Now I'm just gonna proceed to pass everybody. There we go. All we have left is the person in first place. Brake hard, and we're going through bamboo, a bamboo forest. Oh my goodness. This actually looks cool. Oh, I like this a lot. This is fun. I know it's only a short little bit of off-road, but hey, the bit of off-road, I'll take it, you know? 'Cause it just looks good. That's another thing I want to say about Forza Horizon 6 is that the game just looks better. Like, I don't know if this is like a graphics update and quality update, but like this compared to Forza Horizon 5 is just completely different. Like, I just feel like this game was like designed from like the ground up as like a completely new idea almost. And like, you know, set in Japan and everything, and you know, it's just a awesome game, you know, because when I saw like what this game was mainly gonna be about, which is you arrive here as a tourist and your goal is to discover Japan and do all the races and become a Horizon legend, which I actually kind of like that progression a little bit, because you know there's always kind of something to do. And I gotta be honest, in Forza Horizon 5 I feel like there wasn't really much to do. Like, I would do like the intro stuff, and then like you could unlock like the Goliath before, you know, any of the other races. And I also kind of felt like there wasn't really a end goal of Forza Horizon 5. You know, for me it was just kind of like completing everything on the little checklist thing. So, you know, that's why, you know, the Forza games that I've liked are the ones that have kind of like that end goal, you know? Like Forza Horizon 2, the end goal was becoming sort of the leader slash boss. And then Forza Horizon 3 was obviously your reward for, you know, in Forza Horizon 2, which, you know, you were the boss of the festival site. And then that one, you know, kind of had an ending, which was, you know, 4 showcase events, or 5. I forget the number, but it's somewhere like 4 or 5 showcase events. And, you know, the goal would be to unlock them all, and then, you know, once you were done with the final one, the credits would play and be like, you know, you're done with the game. But, you know, it turns out there was actually more you could do, which was get all the festivals to level 5 and whatnot. So, yeah. Anyway, we're on the 3rd lap of this race. I just decided to, you know, make some small talk while I'm doing all this driving. You know, don't want to leave you guys all bored just watching me drive around without me saying anything. Because, you know, my goal here on YouTube is to, you know, entertain people, obviously, and then also help people with Forza Horizon 6. Like, for example, I posted a video, I think a couple days ago, explaining the festival playlist and where the treasure was, you know, for the treasure hunt challenge, you know. And then with these playthroughs, you know, my goal is that someone will find this and, you know, follow along and be like, okay, now I know what to do now. Okay, this makes sense now. You know, that's kind of my goal with this. If that's too much to ask, but
Okay, Speedy. I have set your
yeah.
route to the dirt race event.
Anyway, we are headed right here. Alright, now we can use the Subaru. I do like Subarus a lot. Although in real life, I don't have a Subaru. I drive a Toyota. And just get your attention for just a couple seconds, maybe a few seconds, and just let you know that, to like and subscribe for more. Subscribing, it's free, and you can always change your mind later. There's no, burden or, commitment with subscribing. It's completely free. And again, you can always unsubscribe later. So, just wanted to remind you all, and yeah, let's get back to the action. This is the kind of dirt race event that I like a lot, where there's a lot more off-road and then some on-road, kind of a good mix of the two. Also, look at this view. Oh my goodness. I just like all the reflections of the water on the ground. Dang, this game looks so good. I will say the car sounds have gotten a lot more accurate since the past Forza games. Like, I remember, I think it was in Forza Horizon 4, when the McLaren P1 sounded like a McLaren Senna. I'm just like, what? That something doesn't sound right here. And then now the P1 actually sounds like a P1. But kind of that V8 power, not so much a McLaren Senna, but, more like the 650S sound. Or the MP4-12C sound. Anyway, on the second lap here out of 3. Anyway, here we are now on the final lap. I'm gonna try to beat my time of 1 minute 20 for the lap time. Oh, that's something I should do next, is some time attacks. Try to improve on my lap times. I wouldn't mind that. But I think for now I'm just gonna stick to PR stunts and some racing. Another cool feature I like about this game is the what's next tab. It goes, okay, what do you want to do next? And it gives you a list of 4 choices. I like that, because it never really leaves you, with nothing to do. Anyway, here's the finish line. And across the line. Okay, I did not beat the 1 minute 20, but who cares? Fast lap time here. Let's go. This is actually pretty cool. Like if I get bored, I'll know what to do next, because it's right here in front of me. Ooh, maybe I should do some of the stories, because I know there's like a bunch of these around the map, but I've just been ignoring them. It's like, oh, take a day trip down here and whatnot. Maybe I should give that a try. Anyway, Let's go to the drag strip. Ooh, a Toyota Tacoma. $28,900. Yeah, sure, I'll take it. Store and garage, of course. I don't need it right now.
In 400 yards, turn right.
What car to take? I think I'll go with the fh6 Evo. That Mitsubishi Evo was right there. 13,582 to a 13,600. Wow.
Speedy, I have set your route to the cross-country race event. In 100 yards, turn right.
Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, might as well. I don't have any buggies in A class. There's no way I have any buggies in A class. There's no way. I'm just scrolling through here really fast because I know for a fact that I don't have any buggies in A class. Oh my goodness. Is it just buggies? Well, let's see. I mean, if it's just buggies, then, you know, I don't really have a chance here. But if it's buggies and off-road vehicles, man, I like how convenient these aftermarket cars can be. Like, man, I don't have a buggy. Don't worry, we got you. Yes, I need to drive it. Although, the only problem is that this is an B class and we need A class. So, if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna fast travel back to the festival really fast. And just put like 1 or 2 upgrades on this.
Welcome back, Speedy.
So like, for example, this should get me into A class easily if I just do these 2 upgrades. There we go. All right, where was that? There we are. Ta-da! Man, I like the idling sound. That was never a thing in the past Horizon games. Anyway, here we go. Yeah, I put a 7-speed transmission in here, so I should have plenty of gears and not have to worry about running out of them. Now the thing is, I can't really say if this is good or not because this is my first time driving this car, or should I say this buggy. So, I mean, so far it's pretty good. But, you know, may take me a while to determine if it's good for off-road events or not. Because, as I said earlier, with the goals of, you know, entertaining people and, you know, possibly helping out with, you know, Forza Horizon 6 playthroughs and everything, I also want to give you guys cars that I think are good, so that you guys could use them as well, and be like, okay, so Eclectic Fire said that this car is good, I'm gonna try it out, okay, it's good, or maybe you might disagree with me, you know, it's all good. Anyway, second lap now. Everything's going pretty well. Although I feel like my grip has slightly decreased, just a little bit. That's why I cannot take turns that well. Also why I'm drifting off-road. Or maybe that's just me hooking it in too hard. I'm gonna go with the second one there. It's my driving for sure. I like how this race is going through a golf course. This is great. Look at that view. The reflection of the water. All right, final lap. Yeah, overall, I would give this car a solid B if I was grading it. You know, 7 out of 10. You know, I would say it's a pretty good buggy to have. Definitely gets the job done. Is it the best buggy out there? Probably not. But does it get the job done? Absolutely. Also, I forgot to remind you all that I do stream, by the way. Mostly on Twitch, but I do sometimes stream on Twitch and YouTube. My Twitch I'll have in the description. YouTube, you already know what it is because you're watching this video. Anyway, here we are, the finish line. And I also want to say, I probably said this in a past video, but I am doing daily uploads, or at least trying my best to do daily uploads for the rest of the month of May. And then June, I'm gonna take a little break. I may stream here and there. And then July is gonna be the same as May. It's gonna be daily uploads and whatnot, just content, you know, being pushed out for you guys. And it may not all be Forza Horizon 6. You know, I'm definitely gonna play some other games. So, yeah. Anyway, that'll do it for today's video. Next video, we'll be doing this Horizon Rush event and some races that come after this when we unlock the new purple wristband. So, yeah. Bye-bye.